Welcome to a battlefield of minds. Two grandmasters face off where every move cuts like a sword. One mistake, and it's over. This isn't just chess, it's war disguised as strategy. Let's dive in, move by move, into this epic clash. Wesley opens with e4. The king's pawn surges forward, declaring war in the center, like a bold spear thrust. Marcin answers with chicks. The Caro-Kann fortress begins to form, steady and patient, waiting for the right moment to counter. Wesley continues with d4, two pawns side by side, forming a proud wall of white ambition. Marcin strikes back with d5, the classic challenge, locking horns in the very heart of the board. Wesley pushes e5, advancing deep into enemy land, grabbing space and daring black to respond. Marcin develops his bishop to 5, bringing out his warrior early, eyeing the weak e4 square with intent. Wesley calmly plays nf3, reinforcing his center while calling in his first knight to join the fray. Marcin prepares e6, solid and cold-blooded, sealing his pawn chain and waiting for the storm. Wesley plays b2, developing smoothly, keeping options open, and eyeing future kingside safety. Marcin jumps in with n7, rerouting the knight for flexibility, perhaps dreaming of sheiks or 5 later. Wesley castles short, safety first, his king retreats behind walls as the troops take positions. Marcin challenges with c5, the battlefield explodes, pressure erupts on d4 like thunder before the storm. Wesley replies with c4, sealing the center and daring Marcin to open lines at his own peril. Marcin develops nb6. More power joins the fight, knights ready to leap into chaos. Wesley shifts n3, a strange maneuver, but one with hidden venom, aiming to outflank from the side. Marcin captures dxcsc4. The first blood drawn, a pawn falls as the lines begin to open. Wesley recaptures with nxec4. The knight returns to action, reclaiming the heart of the board with style. Marcin answers nd5. The black knight plants itself firmly in the center, like a steel anchor. Wesley develops bd5. The pin emerges. That knight is suddenly frozen, unable to move without consequence. Marcin slides his queen to d7, connecting the rooks and preparing dark counterplay down the c-file. Wesley lifts Caro-Kann. The rook joins the action, eyes blazing down the open file toward black's camp. Marcin plays h6, a direct question to the bishop. Are you brave enough to stay, or will you flee? Wesley retreats b3. Calm and composed, he preserves the bishop's strength for future battles. Marcin pushes b5, expanding aggressively on the queen side, hungry for space and initiative. Wesley's knight dances back to a3, a graceful retreat, preparing to strike again when the time is right. Marcin answers with a6. The pawn wall thickens. Black builds his own fortress on the flank. Wesley plays dxcs5, breaking through, opening the lines, and testing the foundations of black's camp. Marcin responds with b4, counterattack. The dark bishop lunges into white's territory, forcing complications. Wesley's knight leaps to c2. A retreat, but with intent, gathering strength for a future strike. Marcin captures inks e3. The bishop claims a knight, removing one of white's key defenders. Wesley strikes back, inks a3. Regaining balance, the knight returns fire and holds the structure. Marcin develops b7, calmly placing his forces for the next wave. Dark clouds gather again. Wesley pushes f4, a bold wing strike, cracking open black's pawn shield. Marcin places his queen on b7, sharp as a blade. The queen eyes both center and kingside with malice. Wesley responds nd2. The knight reinforces the center, guarding against tricks and traps. Marcin plays or8. The rook takes command of the open file, preparing to invade white's camp. Wesley answers with axe b5. Another pawn bites the dust, and the a file opens wide. Marcin recaptures axe b5. Equilibrium restored, but tension still runs high across the board. Wesley's knight captures next e4. A tactical strike. The center explodes as lines begin to open. Marcin's rook swoops to dun. A sharp counterblow. The rook invades white's backline in revenge. Wesley coolly plays rfx stone. Rook takes rook, simplifying with confidence and keeping the initiative alive. Marcin's knight jumps to f5. He strikes back fiercely, swinging his blade into the center like a desperate counterattack. Wesley answers with checks, a cool and calculated push, forcing cracks to appear in black's once solid defense. Marcin shifts his queen to 7, regrouping under pressure, hoping to stabilize the storm that's coming. Wesley captures on b5. The white bishop claims its prize, slicing through black's flank with precision. Marcin responds with 0-0, finally bringing his king to safety, but the air feels heavy with tension. Wesley's knight slides to c4, smooth and purposeful, eyeing juicy squares around the black king. Marcin develops b8, pulling his bishop back, tightening the formation like a soldier retreating into a bunker. Wesley jumps, nc5. A forward thrust of white steel, the knight lodges deep in enemy territory. Marcin trades, with nxe4. The knight exchange erupts, black desperately clearing the dangerous invader. Wesley recaptures xec4. His rook now dominates the file, a cannon aimed straight at the heart of black's camp. Marcin swings his queen to f5, launching a counter-threat, flashing blades toward white's center. Wesley calmly retreats rc2. A regroup, preparing to double rooks and seal off any black hope. Marcin replies with bc7. He brings back up, defending his weak points as white's pressure mounts. Wesley advances g3, a subtle move to guard the king and prepare his pawn storm. Marcin counters rebite, bringing the rook into battle, hoping to stir chaos on the open files. Wesley develops b4, eyes blazing. The bishop joins the offensive from a powerful diagonal. Marcin brings r8. The rooks double, defending with grim determination. Wesley pushes b4. The pawn avalanche rolls on, crushing black's space inch by inch. Marcin's queen steps to 5, searching for counterchances, but danger is closing in fast. Wesley doubles with Ardicone. Pure coordination, both rooks humming like engines of destruction. Marcin thrusts hive. A risky push, betting everything on a kingside distraction. Wesley repositions BB5, tightening the grip, shutting down counterplay like a vice. Marcin develops BB6, protecting his weak lines, but the defense is crumbling. Wesley's bishop drops to F1, stealthy and precise, guarding the king while setting traps. Marcin pushes H4, the last spark of rebellion, throwing pawns forward in desperation. Wesley responds N7, a thunderous knight leap, centralizing for the killing blow. Marcin retreats BD4, trying to block the coming storm, but it's too late. Wesley charges 7. The pawn transforms into a spear aimed straight at Black's throat. Marcin applies her sate, but his rook trembles under pressure, forced to block the unstoppable pawn. Wesley pushes RD2, shifting his forces, ready to rip open the position. Marcin continues H3, one last defiant push, clinging to hope on the king's side. Wesley captures HXD3, calm and ruthless, eliminating the pawn and clearing the path. Marcin's queen slides to G5, seeking counterplay, but her eyes are filled with fear. Wesley captures RX4, a cold and crushing move, tearing through the last black defense. Marcin takes Quix Con, desperate measure, but the queen's triumph is hollow. Wesley's knight leaps to F6, a fork of pure brilliance. The black king staggers in terror. Marcin moves fights, only move left, but the walls are closing in. Wesley continues sedate, relentless. The rook strikes with thunderous force. Marcin slides K7, retreating into darkness, no escape left. Wesley delivers Ingate hash, checkmate. A dazzling finale, as the knight lands the killing blow, sealing Wesley So's glorious victory. The video ends here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Please don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to support me. Thank you again, everyone. See you in the next video.